Yesterday, when the Agnipath scheme was launched by the government, one of the main concerns expressed was over the uncertainty facing the 75% recruits who will not be rehired as per the new policy, even after their 4 years of initial service is over. Today, a series of announcements were made to further alleviate those concerns. Home Minister Amit Shah started by announcing in the morning that Agniveers will now get priority when recruitment for the Central Armed Police Forces and Assam Rifles takes place. This was followed by a slew of schemes unveiled by various states, from Uttar Pradesh to Haryana to Manipur. Several chief ministers said that priority will be given to Agniveers in various government jobs. Ministry of Education also said that in-service training given to the youth will count for 50% of the credits when it comes to a graduation degree. The Department of Telecom held a meeting with all service providers to identify some areas where employment of Agniveers could be done. However, there are opposition leaders who are still not quite convinced.
We have been in discussions, all three services, with Ministry of Defence and other ministries for this scheme to happen. So now that it has happened, we are excited about to start the inductions very soon. There was a need to transform the way we manage our human resources, and this is a big step, a major step towards that direction.
4 साल की अवधि की पूरा होने पर अग्निवीर अपनी पसंद की नौकरियों में अपने भविष्य बनाने के लिए कॉर्पोरेट और इंडस्ट्री, सीएपीएफ यानी केंद्रीय पुलिस बल और रक्षा सार्वजनिक क्षेत्र यानी पब्लिक सेक्टर अंडरटेकिंग्स सहित अन्य क्षेत्रों में रोजगार के लिए डिसिप्लिन, डायनेमिक और मोटिवेटेड और स्किल्ड फोर्स बनकर समाज में, सोसाइटी में जाएंगे.
I think with the announcement of the Agnipath scheme, the whole youth of the nation should be enthused to join the ranks as Agniveers. Because they will get a unique opportunity to come into the folds of the Indian Army, serve for a period of 4 years, and have a chance to be part of the regular force, who will be approximately 25%, and the balance will have an opportunity to go back and serve the country. You are aware that this particular Agniveer concept is open to all India, all class. People from across the states will be able to join the forces.
Several leaders of the opposition today spoke up, including former Congress President Rahul Gandhi and Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi, who said that this is a national fraud on the youth of India. In fact, Rahul Gandhi also said the scheme is uncalled for, reduces the efficacy of armed forces and even reduces their dignity.
We've also seen a lot of veterans coming out opposing it, because we don't understand the intention of this government. Forget the promises that they made of providing 16 crore jobs in 8 years. Now they are asking the country to be satisfied with 10 lakh jobs. These people will have training in arms, will have a license of a gun or a pistol, and then they will be set free in the society. What kind of society are we trying to create under Mr. Modi?
How can the Congress party say that this scheme is not good? This is an opportunity for the youth to serve the country, and how many of them want to? This is an opportunity for them after 4 years to move on and decide to do something by getting a corpus, or apply for further enrollment and continue in the armed forces. Every aspect and detail has been looked at.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Tuin Sinha, spokesperson of the BJP, joins us along with Brigadier Anil Gupta, defence analyst, Vivek Srivastav, political analyst. My first question is to you, Colonel Dinesh Nain. All the announcements that have happened today, have they addressed any of your concerns? Today, the Home Minister in the morning said that for the Central Armed Paramilitary Forces, Assam Rifles, etc., for the Uttar Pradesh Police, even in Assam, these soldiers who pass out after 4 years and are not absorbed in the army are going to get preference there. Colonel Nain.
Okay. But let me tell you one thing, that even today as a welfare means, defense people who got retired at the early age, because mostly they get retired, the JCOs and Jawans, by 32 to 35 years of age, maximum 38, are being taken in state police. Nothing new. are being given some jobs in CISF also, BSF also, Territorial Army also. Nothing new. We were given a promise of one rank, one pension. Everybody says it has been fulfilled. Really? 2015 December was one-time fixation of pension for the past so many years.
We'll talk about one rank,
but
one
after
pension
2015, the promise made to the defense forces,
can we stick to
till
the
date,
issue, please?
there are 5 pensions now.
Okay,
5 pensions again.
So this is not about
So
order.
as far as promises are concerned,
Yeah.
it is going to be seen in the coming time. But as far as the disturbance of the infrastructure, of the present infrastructure of defense forces is concerned, it is going to take place immediately. I just have one request. Why can't you have just started at a smaller scale? See the implications.
Sir, how exactly is the
Observe
infrastructure
it.
going to be disturbed?
Army has never done this thing.
Sir, how is the infrastructure going
Make
to be
a pivot
disturbed?
system.
How?
See, ma'am, everyone knows, all senior officers know about this, that a jawan or a soldier becomes perfect. You can call him a perfect jawan from all angles, what we need in 5 to 6 years of service. 4 years we are trying to give him. There are two pretexts. One is the youth wants to come into army and we have to discipline them, discipline the youth. But are we really doing it? 60,000 is the enrollment as on date required every year, because 60,000 people get retired every year. We are going to have 2 batches of 25,000 and 25,000, something like that, or 2020. So nothing very big bulk coming into the army.
Okay.
Number 2, army needs modernization. You need to get budget, but at what cost? In this I mean, you are trying to cut down the money by cutting down this manpower.
So,
only
you are again
20%
talking
people are
basically
going to
about
have permanent
preparedness.
commission selection after that. Ma'am, just a minute, please, Padma ma'am. Complete China border, complete Pakistan border has to be watched day and night. We are every day we are facing this intrusion of this, militants from Pakistan
Sir,
side also, and now China has also joined
to
it.
be affected?
So are we really going to come again, please?
You said that the infrastructure is going to be broken down. How?
See, ma'am, infrastructure is going to be broken down this way. You know, a soldier comes into the army, 4 years, may say, when he comes now, he will be given 6 months training. He will have annual leaves and casual leaves for 3 years, come down to about 8 to 9 months. So the period comes down to about 2 years' time. In this 2 years' time, you give him some specialized training. And specialized training, after that, you call him, okay, fine, now he can be incorporated into serious job. Okay. And that's the time he says goodbye, number 1. Number 2, a person who knows that it's not sure for him that he is going to make into army. What is the system we have got in our hands to ensure that the indiscipline does not rise here? Because he knows I'm going to go away.
Okay,
so who is going to control that?
Let Brigadier Gupta answer that. Why should he be disciplined if he knows in 4 years he's going to be out? Brigadier Gupta.
Padmaja, what I like to say is that in a hierarchical organization like the armed forces, over a period of time, status quo mindset sets in. Because of that, everybody finds a comfort zone. And then if you try to make any change, especially the radical changes like this, there's a lot of resistance. And it's a well-known fact that there's a resistance, change to resistance. And that is what is happening now. The resistance to change, and that's what's happening now. It's a well-known saying that old order yields place to new. It's a revolutionary change. It was needed. The human resources management of the armed forces was suffering to a lot of disgruntlement. People were asking for voluntary retirement. They were not happy. Promotions were not there. Stagnation was there. So there are a lot of problems which are occurring. Now a revolutionary decision has been taken which will overlook all these problems. There are plus and minuses of everything. But I say that once a decision has been taken, give it a chance. The proof of the pudding lies in eating it. Till such time this particular system is tried out, you cannot start finding faults from day one. That is a status quo mindset. I am not for it. As far as the question of discipline is concerned, it's the question of man management. Man management is applicable today, it will be applicable tomorrow. whether it's 4-year system or it's the present system. The discipline has always been a main issue in the armed forces because we do not tolerate indiscipline, and that is why the Defence Service Regulations and the Army Act or the Air Force Act and Naval Acts are there.
Okay, Brigadier Gupta, I think Vivek Srivastav wants to respond to you.
You must be knowing, Padmaja, the armed forces are the only organization where the commanding officers enjoy the powers of a magistrate.
Okay.
So therefore,
Sir, just a second. Vivek Srivastav has a counter question for you.
My question is, I have 2 or 3 questions. Number 1, is the army there for experimentation? Are we supposed to experiment on the defense forces and the defense resources of this nation? No. There should have been a good pilot project first. Have been tried, and that is not my opinion. That is the opinion of all the retired senior army professionals and defense experts, not only in the country but across the world. You cannot suddenly just wake up one fine day and say, "Aaj se 4 saal ka recruitment hoga." So there are 2 or 3 fallacies in this. Number 1, the pilot project would have tested 2 things. Number 1, what is the finis, what is the efficacy of these people who are there only for a 4 period, and what is going to be their contribution to the defense forces? Is it adequate or is it not adequate? This is the first part. Second part, you are releasing trained army men into the society, even giving them maybe a license to carry an arm. Now you are militarizing the society.
No.
Okay.
No, that's not going to be the case. Is that the case?
And minuses.
Brigadier Gupta, nobody is going to get a license to carry an arm, is it? Brigadier Gupta?
Of course, yes. No. 4 साल के बाद आप सोसाइटी में ट्रेन आर्मी मैन को डाल रहे हो,
in fact made an assumption, not even asked a question.
कर रहे हैं.
Let Brigadier Gupta answer. Brigadier Gupta.
Sure.
this is totally wrong. No armed licenses will be issued to the people, Agniveers, who leave after 4 years. In fact, it's the converse. You will have trained, disciplined force which will inculcate nationalism in the rest of the people. I think it's the other way. It's how you look at it. You see, it's a half glass full, how you look at it. So it is the way of looking at it. If you are trying to just criticize and you are finding reasons for criticizing it, there are a number of reasons. But please let this experiment be taken. As far as pilot project is concerned, take this 4 years of the pilot project. Why not? Heaven not going to fall.
No. We are copying the.
Okay, Tuin Sinha to say that this is a glass half full. The allegation is it seems like experimentation with a very sensitive arm.
Somebody
is habitual pessimism. World over, there are only 2 ways of recruitment of jawans, which is either conscription-based or voluntary. Now, in Russia, the average tenure, the tenure-based service armed forces is 12. Is 30 months in South. Is 21 months. So, a 4 years service tenure, I think, is rather reassuring. Number 2, like you have mentioned, there is a slew of announcements which have already come from various state governments today from different departments, wherein those who retire after 21 years would be taken care of. But most importantly, please try to understand that at 17.5 years of age, when a person joins the armed forces, there is a certain percentage who are not sure whether they want to continue. And you know, this is where that percentage gets an opportunity.
No. How will you take care of the kid who's 21 now?
Sorry?
How will you take care of the 21-year-old guy who's over with his 4 years of recruitment? How will you take care of the 21-year-old who's just over with the 4 years? Sir, they are smaller countries and they don't have manpower. I gave the example of Taiwan. Taiwan is a small country. They need military training for the civilians because China is a bigger country which is a threat. That is not the case with India. We are a huge nation. We are not like Taiwanese. We are not like Singapore.
India does not need to train people in the society. So I think, you know,
oh my God, so you want to militarize 130 crore Indians?
Argument, we need discipline, you know, the fact that these people would be moving on, ex-trained officials would be contributing a lot more to the society as disciplined ex-servicemen.
Vivek Srivastav.
Sir, they won't even have a degree. They won't even have a degree when they pass out. What is the degree that you are going to give it to them? As per my research, what we asked, they are not going to receive any degree from your side. They will not be graduates also maybe. So who will give them the jobs?
Okay, like we just mentioned right at the beginning that the jobs are going to come from the private sector and the various governments that we listed. Anyhow, again, there are questions about whether this is an experiment that is going to work in the real world with the right intent, but could there be a misuse? Could there be lacuna? We'll keep a close track of that. Thanks very much, gentlemen, for having joined us.